I just watched my father die. I keep saying to my husband at the end of the day, like, I got nothing done. I cleaned the counters. And he says, that's all right, you're grieving. And I'm fighting it. You know, I don't want to stop. I don't want to slow down. I don't want to sit in the chair and think about this hard stuff. But you have to. I mean, you gotta let it happen. So. Well, you know, as Americans, a huge part of our identity is we're fighters. We solve problems. We don't accept things the way they are. That's how our country came to be, right? We were someplace and they said, this is how it works here. And we said, fuck that. See you later.
It's not our habit to accept. It's our habit to struggle. It's our habit to resist.
What are we if we put down this sword, right? Are we phony? Are we weak?
It's difficult to accept when you failed at something.
It's like a deep sense of shame, first of all, and embarrassment.
It can be uncomfortable, it can be frightening, difficult and unsettling.
My vulnerability will be perceived as weakness.
Acceptance is like the Mount Everest of human emotions. I think it's that hard to get there, and I think it's that hard to stay there.
The question is what is accepting something? Accepting I have a brother. Sometimes he's a little annoying.
You know, you're a kid, you get sad, you cry. But this was something scary and dark and deep and felt inescapable.
The bulimia became a way of rejecting myself, rejecting my feelings. It's the opposite of acceptance. Despicable, despicable, I am despicable.
After I saw my face and my body for the first time, my mind immediately went to this character that I remember being so afraid of, you know, in the 80s. That character being Freddy Krueger.
This is me at the age of 3, and I'm the brother of Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. The answer to the question, how did this happen? How did this, you know, bright and kind young man turn into a serial killer is in some ways unanswerable for me.
When the little girl passed away, I felt like I failed her.
I spent 10 years covering conflicts in the Balkans, the Middle East, West Africa.
We would go to church every Sunday. I would wear a dress. I was a girl at that time. It was like I was in the wrong body.
People were dying right in front of me. They died. They died. And I refused to accept that.
I wanted to wake up and be a boy. And my mother would say it's never going to happen.
I'd have these visions in my head. Is she going to accept me when I lose my face? You know, is my kids going to still love me? Is my family still going to want to see me? When they operated on me, they took my forehead, they took my nose, they took my upper palate, they took my top lip. It was a very rare cancer.
The helplessness was, I think, the worst for me. He would come to me and say, kill me and get me out of my misery. Now that is torment.
I would just go home and stare at a wall. And I said, I'm really worried I might be gay.
I suffered an enormous breakdown. I was sort of a combination of a nervous breakdown and post-traumatic stress disorder.
There was some sense in being sort of trapped in a story where there was no way out.
My worldview becomes very narrow, very limited.
The walls were coming together.
Problems? What problems? You know, other people have problems. We don't have problems.
This can't be my reality.
I didn't want to take the step of turning my brother in.
Why couldn't you do this? Why couldn't you fix it?
Why do you think that? You shouldn't think that. This is what you should think.
And I thought I was a terrible parent.
I should have, should.
Every time I tensed up, every time I fought against it, it just got worse.
What's the next door I'm supposed to open, and where's the key?
It's like one of those Chinese finger traps where you struggle and your fingers get more and more caught.
If you cannot change it, you must accept it as it stands. And as it stands, it is very painful for you.
I bet most times you just get worn out and you want to let go finally and say, this is the way this is.
This is how it is. This is how it is. This is how it is.
I started praying a lot. And I said, God, I need to come out of this hole. I need to accept what happened to me.
Pretty soon I was sobbing. We were clutching each other, sobbing for quite a while. We had to do something. We couldn't live with ourselves if somebody else was killed.
I couldn't bear it anymore. I couldn't bear pretending that this wasn't who I was, so I just went for it.
This is something I have to do. I have to find a way to become a man.
The turning point for me was as simple as my first kiss with a woman.
Is it okay for me to feel angry or ashamed or sad?
Allow yourself to feel like a failure.
I learned how to sit in the midst of the pain, the discomfort, the anguish.
I remember sitting in the house and not going anywhere and peeking out the windows and hearing people laugh and have a good time, and I wanted that.
And it literally is just doing this. Unlocking the front door and walking out.
Immediately, the perspective begins to broaden and open up.
You feel a release. It's like the weight of the world was lifted off my shoulders.
The world didn't end. It didn't end at all.
I feel like I'm crying all the tears that I never got a chance to cry. Poof, it kind of loses its power over me.
We're now in a large, wide field of beautiful daffodils.
I saw the color in the water again.
I could see to my right and to my left. I wanted to look all the way around and see what other girls I could kiss.
It's the phoenix rising from the ashes. It is that renewal and that rebirth, and the armor falls off and you become vulnerable to the unknown and the unknown of yourself.
I love myself. I love looking in the mirror every day. I love my body. Now I stand up straight and tall and I walk anywhere I want to.
I find myself attractive. I think other people find me attractive.
If I can be, at peace internally, then I'm fully there, present for other people when they need me.
I think it's tiny little steps that make tiny little changes that over time you turn back and think, I climbed a mountain.
Every one of us wears a mask. His you can see. You can't see mine. My mask may be inadequacy. Yours might be something else. We all wear one, and I think sometimes we need to just take it off and be who we are. We're just people making it day by day, doing the best you can in whatever situation you're in. There were many times when Donnie told me to leave. He would be feeling so bad, and he'd say, just leave.
I just wanted you to have a better life than taking care of me all the time.
Well, there is no better life for me. You're my choice.
I know that now.